What's going on, everybody? I'm back again with another vlog, and today I'm going to be exploring one of my favorite neighborhoods in Queens, which is Astoria. And it's also like pretty diverse. You'll see a little bit of everything over here. It's been a minute since I've been here. I covered a few videos in certain areas of Astoria, but I haven't made like a proper video for the neighborhood itself. So now I'm walking around 31st Street and Astoria Boulevard. I think I'm going to walk forward to Broadway, then make a left and make it to Steinway to show you a couple of main streets around, and then show you like the diversity of the neighborhood, the residential, you know, the stores, the mixture of people over here. So without further ado, you know, join me. I think another cool thing is that the movie A Bronx Tale, even though it's dedicated to a story about the Bronx, most of it was filmed between Jackson Heights and here in Astoria, Queens. So that's pretty interesting. Walking around here by 31st Street, not much happening over here, but the subway line W&N train passes by here, and then a couple of apartments to my right hand side. So pretty quiet over this area, but when I walk a couple of blocks down, you're gonna see how the neighborhood changes. There goes the subway train. You can't see it, but you can hear it. I think another interesting thing about Astoria is that it has a huge Greek population, but then there's a little bit of everything. Some areas are like Middle Eastern, and then a little bit of everything like Latino. And interrupted me, but yeah, like I say, Latino, Black, Spanish, Greek, Middle Eastern, so it's diverse like Jackson Heights. And I think ahead of me is 30th Avenue, which is another main street. They got 30th Avenue, they got Broadway, they got Steinway. Then you walk around here and you're gonna find a little bit of everything, so pretty cool. And over here you start to see a couple of business. There goes a horn, like a flower shop, like a meat market over here, beauty salon. And then one thing I like about here is that they have a supermarket that's open 24 hours. I'll show you. Yeah, there's one over here. Opens 24 hours and it's right by the subway train. Imagine at 3 o'clock in the morning you need to do some grocery shopping. Well, it's possible here in Queens. Still organic stuff, a lot of good stuff. So pretty live over here, this street. Then they got a burger joint ahead of me. Then like brand new condos and apartments right there. So you can see, you know, they got main streets and then you end up in a regular street and it's pretty much like residential. I think it's the beauty about New York City and neighborhoods like this one in Queens. But a lot of beautiful shops here, you know. And this one's pretty interesting, the market right here. All the fresh fruits, vegetables. Even across the street, you got apples and everything. Bring a juice bar. Wow, convenient. You get a little bit of everything here. This is so cool. And I love the smell of the fresh fruits and vegetables. Gives you like a unique vibe, you know. And then once you get off the main streets, you get like a regular residential area over here. Like a lot of apartment complex, like this one. You know, nothing special, but one thing I noticed is that a lot of these apartments, they got like their own parking spot in the back, which is pretty hard to find in a lot of neighborhoods in New York City, unless you live like in a suburb filled neighborhood. Like, see, got their own driveway and stuff. And I used to hang out around this neighborhood years ago because one of my best friends, Justin, if you ever see my Montreal videos, they saw him and his wife. They used to live in this neighborhood before they moved down to Florida, so I would hang out here pretty often, and that's how I got to know the neighborhood a little bit better. And yeah, really nice, and it feels good to be back here exploring around, making a video about this neighborhood. But yeah, I don't know, I just like the design of this building. So it gives you a vibe like if you're, I don't know, somewhere else. Like, they look pretty much similar, so you just gotta look at the numbers to know which building you are. Over here is another main street, Broadway. The subway stop is over that way, but if you go back, it takes me all the way to the other main street around here. I think the main one, which is Steinway. And then I noticed like in every subway stop, the one I was walking by, 30th Avenue, and over here, they got the same supermarket that opens like 24 hours. There you hear the sirens. So it's really convenient that you get off the stop, or the subway stop, and then 1 block down, you got a supermarket. I'm not sure if this one, yeah, it opens 24 hours. see all the fruits and stuff. I don't know if you can see it clearly where it says Green Organic Bay Marketplace, open 24 hours. So that's like a healthy supermarket 24 hours. So I've never seen this like in any other part of New York City, but it makes it pretty unique over here. Looking around here, I noticed that there's a lot of healthy options like juice bars and stuff. So yeah, it looks like they pretty much watch, you know, what people eat in the neighborhood. Also, I noticed that there are gyro spots over here, and I think some of the best gyros are actually here in Astoria, Queens. There's actually a Greek food truck in 41st Street. Not sure if I passed by it, but it's called Slovakia, and it's really good. I had it like a couple of years ago, I think like 2 years ago, and it was really good. So I'm walking actually by Broadway, and you can see they got like a couple of outdoor dining, like a lot of restaurants. Mix of everything. Supermarket right here, and outdoor dining. The weather's just perfect today. Like 70 sharp or high 60s.
This went like super viral, like no.
This is a Thai restaurant right here, and across the street they got more stuff happening too. So, but yeah, Michael's restaurant. So there's like a lot of food options, and I heard like in the weekend and the evening it gets, you know, pretty lit over here. A lot of people hanging out and having foods and drinks. A lot of young people live here too, especially young professionals. So yeah, there's a lot of activity going on here. Really nice looking restaurants, you know. I know when I get to Stanway it's gonna be mostly like a Middle Eastern vibe, but it's pretty diverse, you know, pretty cool. I gotta say Broadway is really cool, and I smell all kinds of food over here, so I know the restaurants are legit good. But I feel like a couple of blocks ahead of me is gonna be Steinway. Then I'll make my left and explore Steinway. So another nice looking restaurant, Las Margaritas. I guess it's like a Latin restaurant. It's actually one of my favorite Puerto Rican restaurants in New York City. It's in Astoria too, but a little far from here. It's called the freaking Rican. Really good food. Then you got like a cheap store too, 99-cent store. You're gonna see them all over New York City. So yeah. So then ahead of me is Steinway. That's probably like the main street in Astoria. So I'm walking by Steinway, and as you can see, a lot of shops like urban clothing and stuff. Then they got like shops across the street, a lot of restaurants and stuff. So it's pretty much like a shopping district. And if you guys wonder why New York City doesn't have like a lot of malls, I think this might be like an answer. You really don't need a mall, because you walk around the main street and you're gonna find like a lot of shopping, a lot of stores and stuff. So it makes it pretty convenient, and I think it helps out with the local business too. So that might explain the reason. And then, like I said before, Steinway has a lot of Middle Eastern, especially from Egypt. And there you see like an Egyptian spot. It's a restaurant, a hookah bar, and you're gonna find a lot of hookah bars if you walk around Steinways, and you can even smell it. So it makes the neighborhood pretty interesting. You can see how the store keeps going. Then there's a Foot Locker, Jimmy Jazz. You're gonna see all over New York City, all over the boroughs. Kind of resembles a little bit of Bay Ridge in Brooklyn. A lot of similarities with the Middle Eastern vibe, and then it has like a park by the highway. So I think it's like a twin neighborhood or a brother neighborhood in a different borough. Then they got like Colombian coffee. So it's pretty interesting how you got a little bit of every nationality of food or spots in the same block. I started walking Steinway. It was diverse, but this part over here starts turning more into the Middle Eastern. This is where they got all the hookah lounges and stuff. Like here, the people speaking Arabic, which is pretty interesting. You know, I love it. There you see a place called Aladdin. I think it's a hookah lounge. Sahara, I think this is a hookah lounge right here too. Beirut. Kebab spot. So kebabs here. It's a barber shop. I can smell the hookah from here. Roain, I can. So it might be. There's an Istanbul restaurant over there too. Another hookah lounge over here. See people smoking shisha or hookah, however you want to call it. So yeah. So it's funny how in one side it's like Greek, one side of Astoria, then the other side turns into Middle Eastern. Here's another hookah lounge. People smoking it there. And this is like an Arabic shop. In some parts it kind of reminds me a little bit of Journal Square in Jersey City, which has like a really high Middle Eastern population too. You just see halal food across the street, Eastern Nights, Taj Mahal. Here's a Spanish restaurant. Well, it's actually not a restaurant, it's just like a... But then here you see Al Ansar. I know it's Middle Eastern. Some of the signs are written in Middle Eastern. So the closer you get to the, I think the Dead Mars area or Astoria Boulevard, the more it turns into Middle Eastern. So yeah. There's even like another coffee shop, Tassili. I don't know from which country, but yeah. It's really nice to see the... Here's the hookah store, but not announced. They sell everything that has to do with hookah. Nile Deli, I believe it's from Egypt. That's where they got the Nile River. And here's the Latin restaurant, but it's shut down. Funny how they have a Latin restaurant in the middle of all this Middle Eastern neighborhood. But yeah, it's just really, really interesting, you know. They got more options across the street. So there's a restaurant, a hookah, and a cafe spot. This is 25th Avenue, where we're still in Stanway. And then there's like a street food, I think, ahead of me. Not sure if it's halal food. But it is pretty good. I think it comes from this restaurant. It smells pretty good. I like the way how they roast all the kebabs over there. Yeah, the Middle Eastern, they make some really good kebabs and good chicken. The way how they season it is pretty good, so. But yeah, there's the bridge and the subway stop is over that way, so I'm probably gonna make my way over there and go to Astoria Park and probably do the grand finale over that area and show you the different side of the neighborhood over there. Like in many of my Brooklyn and Queens videos, here I am crossing another highway. This highway, it takes you all the way to the Bronx. Then you can see how after this bridge, I think the neighborhood transforms. And it gets like more residential, but I'm gonna make my left side and walk all the way by the waterfront. I gotta tell you, Astoria is a pretty big neighborhood. Not like other neighborhoods out there are small, you can walk it within a couple of minutes. Astoria is pretty big, like it could take you a while to go from one side to another one. Even though for me it's okay because I love walking, but I don't know for other people who don't like walking. You probably need like a, I don't know, take a bus or something, or have a scooter and a bike to get it from one side to another one, but yeah. It's kind of like its own town. Like if it would be its own town, it would be, you know, pretty big and a nice town in New York. So for this area, I'm in 24th Street or 24th Avenue, going all the way down to the park. You can see how different it is over here. Much more like a residential neighborhood. You know, they got like the old houses like this with its own driveway, so it's convenient for the people. But then ahead of me, I can see they're building like a couple of apartments. And I heard like the houses down the park over that way, they're like really expensive. Like I'm not lying, like $1 million or more. Because I saw a video of somebody like doing like a real estate around that area, so I saw it. So it proves you know how nice the neighborhood is. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. You see how they pop out this new development. And the really cool thing, it has a nice supermarket in the bottom. So that is really cool, so you don't have to walk farther to find like a huge supermarket. You can just get off the building or live nearby and get whatever you need to get, you know. The closer you get to the park, the nicer it is. I made a little detour over here to show you. The apartments look similar to the ones I was walking ahead of me, but the only difference, there's a lot of trees over here, a lot of vegetation, and also they have their own driveway, so if you own a car, it's easy for you to park. But yeah, you can see 360 view. So now I'm gonna continue walking to the park. So like about a little long walk ahead of me, I'm in front of the beautiful park. And last time I came here, it was in the middle of the winter when it was freezing, but I managed to capture a nice sunset. But it's gonna be really nice to see it now when the weather's pretty nice. I know the weather's gonna start dropping down a little bit, but yeah, really beautiful scenery. So I'm gonna walk ahead and see what the park has to offer. So the park is really spacious, and one thing is that it offers a view of the bridge right here. Then there's another bridge behind me. But I'm gonna walk deep down there so you can get the view of Manhattan skyline. You can see I'm back again in this beautiful park, the East River over here. I'm not sure if you can see me because the sunset is right behind me. But the last time I came was in the winter, and now it's the fall season, but the weather's just gorgeous. And just look at all this beauty right here. It's like a scenery, you know. The bridge, all of that, another bridge right here. Then a park over this side, and yeah, it's just a peaceful vibe right here, really beautiful. So that was the end of my video exploring Astoria, Queens. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.